And we are live. All right, so welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to yet another Halloween Horror Nights podcast here on the ThrillSeekerNetwork. I am your host, Mr. HHN, here with an exciting panel today. Here today with me today, I have HHN Fan 13, HHN Maniacs, and HHN Meatloaf. Some other people might join later on, but those are the ones we have for now. This past Thursday, both Universal Parks made an announcement that Michael Myers would return to Halloween Horror Nights in a maze based off the 1981 sequel, Halloween 2, titled Halloween Hell Comes to Haddonfield. The maze will feature some of the most iconic kills and scenes from the film. Blake, what are your initial thoughts on Halloween returning?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the you cutting out.
Um, so Halloween 2 was announced recently. So what are your initial thoughts on Halloween returning to the event?
Um, I'm really excited. I really liked the maze last year, and I hope that from the things that they learned from last year, it can be even better. So I'm really excited.
All right. What about you, Justin?
I think Halloween is going to be a great maze. I think, last year's maze was great. I have one tiny issue which I think we could talk about later. And I think, it was a great maze, I loved it.
All right. Anybody else? All right. So I guess I'll go. So Halloween 2, we had Halloween in 2009. We had it last year, and it was based off the original. It was an alright maze, like Justin said. I had some issues with the maze, but overall it was pretty fun and stuff. So it's gonna be a pretty unique thing to see what they do with Halloween 2. This is a maze we've never seen before, which is based on the sequel. So it's interesting to see what they would do with the sequel and like, the hospital and stuff. Since it mostly just takes place inside the hospital, so it's gonna be cool to see how they make you feel like you're actually inside the hospital and stuff. Alright, so what scene from the movie would you guys like to see in the maze?
That smexy hot tub scene.
Stole the words out of my mouth.
John Murdy is going to make a cameo in that scene. I'm betting you. I'm so betting you he's going to make a cameo in that scene.
What if he plays the doctor again from like with the wig and Uncle Cooey and stuff? That'd be pretty neat.
I'm sorry, Jose. I don't think we catched what you said. You're really staticking out.
My bad. Can you hear me now?
A little bit. It's improving.
Okay, let me try something else. What about now?
Just a little bit more. It's
A little bit
working.
more. It's working. It's getting there. Alright, we're getting there. So, what if John Reddy comes up in that maze with the wig and stuff? That'd be pretty creepy.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty awesome.
With a Cooey wig, that would be really, really, really creepy. And that scene, that would be really, really creepy.
Yeah.
I'm just staring at the window and stuff.
Well, just to be actually serious and not say the hot, smexy hot tub scene. I think I really want to see that explosion scene at the very end of the film. I know it's not going to be the ending, but that'd be a really cool effect to pull off.
I think it actually could happen. Like in the press release, they actually teased like a really big finale, so we could be seeing something pretty big happen alongside of that.
Oh, hey. Hello. Welcome.
Hi,
Hey,
welcome to the podcast. So we're talking about what scene would you like to see from Halloween 2 and the Halloween maze this year?
okay. I have to think about that for a little bit.
So I haven't really seen the movie in a while, but like I would kill to see like that Michael Myers one, like they stab him in the eye or something, and he has like the blood like running down his mask. That's always been like a really cool version of Michael Myers. I always really like that. It's on the cover of like all like the Blu-rays and stuff. So I mean that's gotta be an amaze, right?
I think it would also be kind of cool to have the scene leading up to the explosion where they're both turning on the pipes and stuff to create the explosion, and Michael Myers is playing like monkey in the middle. I think that would be kind of cool.
The gas and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That'd be a cool scene.
I'm curious to see if they have like the part where they got the guy mistaken for Michael Myers and he got hit by a car.
It'd be pretty interesting.
I think they're probably gonna feature that scene in the maze, but I also think they're also gonna feature the scene where they're kind of experimenting, seeing that if it was the real Michael Myers or not.
When they were checking the teeth and everything.
Yeah, I think that could also be the scene.
So, like, what if they start off like they said? Since Marty said it would pick up right where the other maze left off. So, like, could we possibly see them start off again, like in that room from the last year's maze when they have like Michael Myers like all over the room with like the nerds and stuff, where he's like getting shot and stuff?
Well, I think we're just gonna walk in and we're gonna slowly down the hallway. We're gonna see that scene happen, and then we're gonna be thrown into a completely different maze, basically.
Like from the looks of it looks like this facade is gonna be a Doyle house.
Actually, Murdy confirmed that it is going to be the Doyle's house.
It's the Doyle house.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's in the film where he gets thrown out the window and stuff.
Yeah. Well, does anyone else have thoughts on it? On what scene they would like to see?
The scene where he's like he took out the whoa, is that me?
You kind of were like cutting out for a second. Could you repeat that?
It's the scene where where it's in the hospital and it's like they're in the hot tub or whatever and he takes it out first and everything.
Yeah, I think they're gonna feature that scene. It'd be a good kill for the maze.
Yeah.
Sure, Murdy said something about the tub being in the maze.
He didn't say anything. He just kind of like someone asked, "Will the hot tub scene be in the maze?" And he just kind of like said, "Hot tub scene, ha ha ha." I think we could see it.
Yeah, it's like the most iconic kill of the entire film, so it's probably gonna be on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like if it wasn't in there, it'd be pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
Alright, so do you guys think the JPQ is a fitting location for this?
I guess I'll start. I think it's kind of, but it's kind of not. I think the Parisian Courtyard was a pretty great area for the 2009 maze and the 2015 maze. But I think putting Halloween in the JPQ is a smart idea also because of the fact that the JPQ is very infamous for holding some of our best mazes like Insidious Again, American Werewolf in London, Alice Cooper, and yeah, I think it's a somewhat fitting location, but I can't really say until I experience the maze up hand.
Yeah, I like the location for it, but Parisian Courtyard was not the location for the 2009 maze. That area was like a Western stunt show.
Oh.
So it was a much larger area for the 2009 Halloween maze. And then this year, or last year, it was shrunk down a bit. Yeah, but I think the venue's pretty good. It's a large venue, so it's going to be better than the small venue that Parisian Courtyard was. Am I echoing to anyone?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to leave and see if I rejoin it'll fix it.
Alright, so yeah, I think it's a pretty good venue. Like honestly, like Justin said, it's been a very intimate venue that holds some of the best mazes we've ever seen at the event. And so with it, it is an improvement from last year's venue since it is somewhat bigger than the Parisian Courtyard, and they do have much more room in this venue, and it's perfect. Like honestly, in my opinion, it's the perfect venue. It's really the perfect length and stuff. So I think it's very, very fitting for Halloween. So we just see how he executes it. It's all about execution.
Yeah.
All right, so moving along. With me, are you guys most excited for Halloween?
I said The Exorcist.
I have to say Halloween.
Anybody else?
Should we go into detail about it, or?
Sure.
Anybody else have any comments?
Yeah, I do. I think I'm gonna actually have to say The Exorcist. I think I'm not gonna be like a neutral and say I'm equally excited for both. I'm very excited for The Exorcist since it's been like such a hype. You know, like we've waited like 10 years for this maze, and we're finally getting it. And I think it's gonna be a really great maze, and I think. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a lot of iconic scenes, and I think it's gonna be this year's Insidious or Halloween or this year's American Werewolf. You know, this year's best maze.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely The Exorcist. Like, I mean, when they announced Halloween, I'm pretty neutral about it. I'm not really overly excited that it's coming back, or I'm not really mad about it that it's coming back either. But with like The Exorcist, you guys have been saying it's a film that we've been wanting to see at the event for a really, really long time, and it's finally happening. And it's honestly kind of like incredible. It's kind of we thought we were never gonna get this event, and we are. So that's the maze to be excited about for forever. I guess. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd have to say I'm more excited for The Exorcist, but I'm also a little scared for The Exorcist because it seems like it's going to be a hit or a miss because it's going to be a more theatrical maze, and a lot of people ridiculed the boring theatrical scenes from the Halloween maze last year, so I don't know how people are going to react to it, and I don't know how I'm going to react to it, but I hope it's done really well and given the attention it deserves for being the property that took 11 years to get.
I'm actually excited for it because it's they haven't The Exorcist hasn't been able to do anything with it since the first time that they did Fright Night, which was before Halloween Horror Night. So it's actually good to see that it's coming back.
Yeah, but like you guys were saying, the theatrical aspect of The Exorcist, it could be like you guys said already hit or miss maze because you can make this like really scary if he pulls it off right, or it could fall flat, like it's boring the entire time.
Yeah.
So hopefully it goes the other way around. It actually turns out being pretty scary. Maybe he breaks some new ground and we can get some different properties that do this. But he has had a plan for a long time, so I don't think he'll let us down. Hopefully.
Yeah. Even if The Exorcist, which if you really read the pages, Halloween is going to be 92 pages. The Doris Day maze is going to be 90 mazes. The Exorcist is going to be 75 pages. Maze 4 is going to be 110 pages. Maze 5 is going to be 127 pages. And so, even if The Exorcist might just be the shortest maze this year, other than if you want to count Walking Dead or this other maze, 6 maze that we don't know about, I think they could really make it incredible, even if it's going to be a really, really tiny maze, because tiny mazes could really either subtract or add to replay value.
I'm pretty sure The Exorcist is that short, also due to the fact of it being the darkest maze ever with all of the black wall transitions.
Yeah, just most of the movie takes place in and scares take place in one tiny little room, so I could see where their excuses.
Yeah, the
And,
black wall transitions probably similar to the style of the band Trailer, but I'm pretty sure the transitions will be pulled off well enough to make it not seem like there's a bunch of endless black walls and then a few scenes in between.
yeah.
What do you-
Welcome, Horror Fan 666. We are talking about the Halloween maze, and we're talking about which maze are you more excited for, The Exorcist or Halloween?
I have to say maybe The Exorcist because it's never been done before in a haunted attraction, quote unquote, kind of way. So, and we already seen Halloween twice. So yeah.
But like
But
just
don't.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, but I love Halloween too. Um, that hot tub scene where Michael Myers shoves the girl's face in the hot tub. That's classic. And I don't think a lot of people seen Halloween 2. It's
Yeah,
like a very underrated sequel.
Yeah.
I remember I had to go just the other day. I had to go and rewatch the movie because I couldn't remember it that well.
So like touching back on Jimmy talking about the Exorcist and like the Black Albums and stuff. He also said something very interesting about how he's going to do the transition. He said he was going to like use the brand trailer for the Exorcist as inspiration. You guys have seen it. It's basically just a whole bunch of like flashing images with like the movie demon and like Regan and stuff. So that'd be pretty cool. He's like done it like where you walk into a room and it's just flashing and you see stuff and stuff. So that's what they're going to do for the convention. So it's actually something very artistic that you can really see.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, so also we have heard rumors that Waterworld is going to be a maze location for this year. What are you guys' thoughts on Waterworld being utilized as a location for a maze?
That'd be
Uh,
really nice spot to have a maze.
I'm really excited to see how it'll turn out. Seems new and interesting.
yeah. I'm just gonna touch about what I think Waterworld will be. I think it will either be The Exorcist. I mean, no, not The Exorcist, The Conjuring, or B, it's gonna be this what is it? The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and because just a few seconds ago, Jose just touched on the fact that The Exorcist. I mean, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre could actually be a maze in that area, and that we're gonna have another Orlando or situation where the Texas Chainsaw Massacre may be taking over the Conjuring because of the fact that some things might have gone wrong or stuff like that. And I think it is a huge venue, and I think it's gonna hold a huge maze there. And I think it's gonna be really cool what they do with that area.
Mm-hmm.
Would anyone else like to touch on what they think Waterworld will be like? The queue?
It's going to be interesting. I don't see them doing the maze inside the actual queues. It's actually pretty small, and they have like some metal poles in there, so I don't think they can take them off. But what I've thought about them doing for Waterworld as a location is use the actual queue for Waterworld as the queue to the maze, and have the actual maze in the tent right next to it. Like if you guys have done early entry in the past, not last year, it was last year, but the year before that, you used to enter through a side right there, right next to Waterworld, and they have like the open space that they utilize. So like, I guess they can basically just pop up a tent like that and use the Waterworld queue as the actual queue for the maze. So that's how I see it. It can be pretty interesting with all these new locations and stuff.
Yeah.
Or anybody else on Waterworld?
I'm good.
I think it'll be interesting how it's seen and used in a way so that they can both use the Waterworld show in the daytime and have the queue used for the maze in the nighttime. We'll just have to see how construction appears in that area coming up to like the next week or so.
Yeah, hopefully construction's starts pretty soon in that area. I heard it coming back sometime this week, but I've heard it really hasn't started yet. So maybe by this week, throughout this we might start seeing them. We'll just see if it's actually gonna work.
Yeah.
So it'll be pretty cool to see how it turns out. And so I've also heard that we're gonna have the on there. We have to make the location again. So that might mean that we might turn into the backlot again. So what do you guys think of that? Well, I'm
Um,
honestly fine with it as long as it's there. Every time I really with Walking Dead because or else it's just Jason boring talk about and stuff. But they might be able to add Travis again, how maybe
yeah.
do other stuff.
But any more thoughts? Come on, give me.
Alright, so anybody have anything to say about the from Russell Dawn area coming back and the possibility of there not being champs to the backlot this year?
I think I'm fine with the walk because if they do it like how they did a couple weeks into the season of 2014 when that whole route first started and they themed it to a scare zone from the start rather than figuring that out a couple weeks in, it'll be better than just making it a plain boring walk to the back lot. But also a lot of people were complaining last year like why aren't we getting 7 mazes? Well, if you're going to complain about the walk and then complain about 7 mazes, you can't really have both. So it's one or the other.
I feel like I'd rather have just like another maze, but I've always liked the walk too. It's always been kind of nice, especially when they turned into scare zone that one year. So yeah, I'm kind of neutral on it. I'm fine with either.
Well, they can use this as a way to test it as well too, like in a way that if they kind of just have the walk again and people don't complain as much about it, they could just like when they have more like areas for mazes next year, they could add 7 mazes if people aren't complaining about the walk and stuff. So it's a good way to test that people won't complain about the walk and stuff. But as long as they add scare actors, like I said, like they did a couple, like they did in 2013, I believe it was for The Walking Dead towards the end of the event. That's honestly fine with me. I don't care. But the only thing that really bothered me about that walk was the first couple of weeks. Like I said, when there wasn't really anything there. It was just a plain boring walk to the back lot. So like if they're doing something with the purge again, they're there this year. They can have some scare actions and stuff, like some sirens that could work pretty cool on the whole way to the back lot, not just the little tunnel, like on throughout the whole way. That could be pretty cool to see.
Yeah. The From Dusk Till Dawn area is a really has only ever been really used once, and I'm excited to see what they do with that area again. And I think it's going to be a really cool area. I think it will hold a huge maze. Because we have two mazes this year that are going to be absolutely huge. The Dark Horse maze that Murray referred to it as, and it's 110 pages, and another maze that's going to be 127 pages, which I think one of those mazes will be there. And I think it's really going to be an interesting venue, and about the walk, I would rather have some mazes because I think they could just put some scare actors in between the area you walk from the lower lot to the back lot. I wouldn't mind the walk, but I know some people aren't going to be really happy with that returning, or if it's not returning.
But the From Dusk Till Dawn maze, that was like a really small and cramped maze. I don't think that might be the maze that he might be like referring to for like the really big house. I'm guessing because Yeah, that was like a really small space, small and tight space.
Yeah, except oh wait,
You can go.
The From Dusk Till
I don't
Dawn
know.
maze, it seemed shorter because the rooms were a lot larger than what would make a normal maze, kind of smaller, closer rooms. The rooms were larger, so the maze appeared shorter. But I think if
No,
they can, go on, go on.
oh well, like it was just like a small, like it wasn't necessarily short. It was just like tight spaces, especially during the quote unquote titty twister bar scene. They didn't even like have the most notable scene from the movie and the TV series, and that includes like all the vampires attacking. And I thought it was gonna be like the main, um, like like just the main thing that was going to be featured in the maze, but it focused more on the details. And well, that's a good thing. It's just I would have rather seen that scene because it was actually a really cool scene in the show. So, yeah.
Well, it's not necessarily a really small venue. Like HM Fan 13 said, some of the scenes from Dust Till Dawn were actually kind of big for like a really small tent maze. Like you had the Twister in there twice, and then you had like the Armory room, which were like kind of expansive. Although they weren't that big as you've seen in the show and stuff, they were pretty big for the maze. And since you had those three big rooms in there, that really took up a lot of space. But it's not really the longest like tent maze ever either. It's not it's like JPQ side or like Soundstage 747 or even the other backlot maze, but it's pretty short. But if they use more tighter like rooms and like make them smaller and stuff, it can feel somewhat longer than From Dusk Till Dawn did.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think it could be a really long maze or a really short maze, but I guess we'll just have to see what happens.
So we've talked about this a lot on our separate channels and stuff. So the maze in the backlot where Crimson Peak was last year and previously The Walking Dead, the facade has gone up and it has brought a lot of speculation with it surrounding what this maze could possibly be. So I just want to hear everybody's opinion, and we're all on the same page on what you guys think this maze is possibly going to be.
It's most definitely Krampus.
It's Krampus for sure.
Krampus.
No, it's Krampus.
Yeah, I was just about to say Krampus is it just there's been I think Krampus was intentionally, which I was talking about this earlier. I think Krampus was intentionally supposed to be our first maze announcement, but then it got switched up and they were just like, no, 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 we're gonna announce The Exorcist because the Snapchat hints and people were thinking, oh, Krampus, 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 and then there was this Facebook post and this Twitter post that said an excellent day for announcement, and so we all kind of changed our minds, and Exorcist gets announced, and since the Fatic is so obvious and it's so hinting at Krampus, and we've seen so many hints of Krampus this year, I think it's going to be our next maze announcement.
Or maybe the Purge, like a Purge scare zone, because on Snapchat, John Murray was like promoting the Purge, and that would be no surprise if the Purge came back in some shape or form. So I think that's gonna might be like the next announcement, or maybe when the scare zones start getting announced.
John doesn't run the Snapchat. He said it a couple of times that he has no clue what goes on the Snapchat.
Oh well, excuse me, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, like when he said with the Snapchat, I actually asked him on Twitter, like if when he started tweeting stuff out for the Purge election year, I asked him if it was gonna do an announcement or something, or it was just promotion for the movie. He just simply said it was promotion for the movie. But I still think we're gonna get the Purge at 4X in some capacity. Like most likely a Scare Zone, but the Purge will possibly be at the event this year, without a doubt. So that leads us into some of our questions we have. Rigoberto Ruiz asks, what do you think the next Maze announcement will be?
I think Krampus, just because the facade's going up so quickly that they're gonna have to announce it. So yeah.
Yeah, it's the same reason for announcing Wisconsin at the time he did. If the facade starts scenic soon, people are going to easily figure it out even more than we already have. So announcing Krampus next would make sense.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on it real quick. Doris Day, which Murray stated will be the maze right next to what is it?
Sunset 747.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I don't think he stated that, but he stated that it's going to be one of those backlot tents, which
He said it was going outside of 747.
Oh, all right, but I'm still kind of like iffy about it because like it just like I don't think Freddy vs. Jason or whatever maze that's I think Krampus would be 90 pages long, and I don't think that if rumored Freddy vs. Jason is going to be in the tent right outside 7047 stage is going to be I think it's probably going to be just like AVP, and it's going to be a long maze. If the rumors are true.
Hopefully that ends up being true regarding Freddy vs. Jason. I'm still pretty disappointed that we lost 747, but him building it upside in the 10, it could be alright. I mean, the only thing is that I'm wondering is where they're going to put the queue for that maze. But regarding next maze announcement, that's definitely going to be Krampus. Like, the facade pretty much already gave it away to most people. And he's just going to announce it to get it out of the way. It might actually be shared between Hollywood and Orlando as well. But it's definitely going to be Krampus the next maze that we end up seeing announced. So into our next question, the same person said, I saw the Purge election year yesterday. The movie is badass. Do you think it will be a maze or scare zone?
Scary for sure.
Scare
Because
zone.
Scare zone.
I seen the movie and like those girls that were in it, those can be like, well, those characters can be like some really good material for the scare zone. Well, if they had like those comedians that used to insult people, I think one of those characters would have been good for that. But since we lost that 2 years ago, we not like I don't think we're gonna be getting that. But yeah, but those girls were badass, and so were the.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely going to be a scare zone. Like election year had a lot of characters that they could really utilize in a scare zone, more so than in a maze. They have, like you said, those cool girls. They have like the militia guys and stuff, and then just a whole bunch of cool purges, like the people, like the foreigners dressed up as patriots. That was really really cool. And like, you can tell that they got that as inspiration from our Terror Tram last year when we had like the Uncle Sam guy and stuff. So we can possibly see those and like the Statue of Liberty light up masks. That would be pretty cool to see. So since we all agree that the Purge might actually be a scare zone this year, where do you guys think the scare zone will be located this year?
I guess I'll touch on it. I wanted to talk about two things. I haven't seen Purge election year, but I've seen the first two, and I think it could be a really great scare zone, especially with last year's scare zone. I think it will probably be in the area we had it last year, but there's a little rumor also going around, because we're talking about rumors as well, that the Purge might just be one entire scare zone, because I don't know if you guys know this, but like back in 2013, Walking Dead took out a huge proportion of Orlando's event, and it was just a whole Walking Dead scare zone. Everything was Walking Dead scare zone. And I think something similar could be happening with Purge this year, and it's been a rumor that's been talked about a lot, and I think it could potentially happen. It's possible, but because there's enough characters and enough sets and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's possible. Possible because the purge it's more of a like outdoor environment, and people seem to like the purge a lot. I think The Walking Dead is done officially since we got that attraction, and yeah, I think the purge might just be one big ass scare zone because Jason Blum even said it himself. He said that he wanted to expand the purge at the park, just have it be one big scare zone. So.
That rumor is actually pretty interesting. I've heard something like that as well before. That's something that could actually work pretty well. Like I've said before, I would really like to see something like this with the Purge as a property that they can just like spread out throughout the entire park and it feels fresh throughout the entire park. Not just like The Walking Dead, which is just basically zombies all over the park. You walk here, zombies. You walk over there, zombies. With the Purge, we have like different gangs. You can have the rich guys from the first film. You can have some of the skater guys from the Anarchy and stuff. You can have the Patriots from the last year. You can have like the military dudes, a whole bunch of different characters you can create into the Purge, and like just having them walk around the entire park. That would actually feel pretty fresh and unique. Something that we haven't seen here in Hollywood, and it would work better than The Walking Dead or the Roman Horror, in my opinion. So that's not actually something that can be pretty exciting and something that I would really like to see them do at the event.
Yeah, but another thing on the characters about that, spoiler alert, but in the movie there was actually like Nazi, like neo-Nazi skinheads in there, and I don't think they might have that because like on their costumes it had like swastikas and it said like white powers and things like that, and like you guys already know with the whole like legal issues up there that people love to bitch and moan, so they might have to like tone it down just a bit, just maybe not have that stuff on there. But like other than that, then yeah, like all the characters are good to go, and I really do want the Purge to come, if just in some shape or form, because it works out so well.
Yeah, when you talk about theme parks and you talk about like scare zones and stuff like that, I just think that Universal is really like picky. Like when one person doesn't like something, they just completely remove it. You look at 2013, Bill and Ted, which sad to say, someone didn't like it, they completely removed it. Last year in the Dark Christmas Scare Zone, there was this thing that said the Damnation Army, and it was kind of like a thing of the army that they had. This real army that is
Salvation
Sal-
Army.
Salvation Army, and so it actually got removed from the scare zone, and so I think they're really picky, and I just hope it isn't the case with this year, and I hope there's a lot, the return.
Also 2014 with the girls and the lipstick. And,
Yeah, yeah.
I totally agree on that. That white power militia from the movie is definitely a source of controversy. I mean, they got like swastikas and like Confederate flags stapled all over the uniform and stuff. Like I can still see them doing some characters like that at the event, but just definitely toning it down. Like maybe not having some of the patches on the uniforms and stuff. So yeah, but with the full blown uniforms, that's never gonna happen. That would get shut down in the first week or so. Because people always get mad and complain, and they don't understand that it's all for fun and games.
But before we move on, does anyone else have an opinion on a Purge scare zone or a Purge like entire huge park scare zone?
It'll be interesting with all the scare zones this year because I know John said he had to redo all of the scare zone like concepts out of necessity. So the whole park-wide purge takeover could be a possibility, but there could be different scare zone areas or something. I have no clue yet, but the park-wide purge takeover would be pretty cool because it would be like a huge immersive environment for like the whole park is a place for the purge rather than just one or two areas.
yeah, that'll make more sense.
It would honestly make you feel like you're actually in the entire purge just taking over the park and stuff. So that's something that would like really works really well. And I hope that actually the rumors are true when we do see this take over Halloween Horror Nights this year. Alright, so anybody else before we move on? Alright, we're gonna get into some of our Twitter questions. So like Coaster Cruiser asked, do you guys think that this year lineup will be Murdy's favorite year? Well, yes, he said that before that it will be his favorite lineup. Anything you guys have to say on that?
Yeah, Murdy has stated. Oh wait, I'll let you go.
No, you go.
All right. Murdy has stated a lot that this year will be his favorite lineup of all time, And I completely agree. If the rumors are true and we get all the mazes like Exorcist, which is confirmed, Walking Dead, if you want to count it, Halloween, which is also confirmed, Krampus, Freddy vs. Jason, American Horror Story, and possibly Conjuring or Texas Chainsaw, which is kind of rumored. I think it could be a fantastic year, or it could be another 2014 where it had a great lineup and some of the mazes weren't really that strong, and there were some really fantastic mazes and some really horrible mazes.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, if the rumors are true, and we have Michael Myers already, we're getting Freddy vs. Jason possibly, maybe it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Exorcist. We have five of the biggest names in horror of Halloween Horror Nights this year, so that's definitely something to be excited about.
Yeah, if what John's saying is like this is his favorite year and it's going to be our favorite year, then I'm really excited if everything in the lineup is true. Even if The Conjuring gets switched out for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's still completely fine if they do it right, unlike 2012. But this lineup definitely seems like a killer lineup, like John has been saying. And with all these big names in horror, I definitely see that it could be one of the best years of the event.
There was also a rumor going on in the Inside Universal podcast that this might be John Reedy's last year of being the creative director of this, and maybe I think that might be possible because he actually got The Exorcist, and I think he might want to go out with a bang. Maybe that's why he's trying to do the fans justice by getting all these amazing properties.
Yeah, I totally agree. Well, no, I don't really. I agree, but I also disagree. I think John will probably be continuing his, his, legend, and I think he's gonna do HHN probably for more years before someone else takes over. But I still think he's probably going to work at HHN, and if that rumor is true, I am really hoping that he does not leave. I mean, we kind of had a situation with this last year, and yet, he's still here, and we're all happy. I hope we can all stay happy, and he's going to stay.
I think he's staying. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly if he said so last year, but I think he said he was staying for a bit longer because he said something about getting money to put his two daughters to college and stuff. So I don't think it's going to be like last year. I think he's staying for a few more years, honestly. But if he was going up, it's definitely a lineup to go out with. It's probably going to be one of the most amazing lineups we've ever seen at the event before. But I don't think it's going to be as last year.
Yeah,
Anybody else?
yeah, I agree. I think it's a possibility since last year was supposed to be his last year, but it wasn't, and he said he might be doing it for a couple more years. But he did say he was going to do it this year, and I think he could be doing that because of the fact that he could be leaving because this year is going to be a huge, fantastic, lineup. And if all the rumors are true and everything, we get all the mazes that we want this year, it could just be like a big finale. And then he says, "Oh, I'm leaving," and then, I'm hoping not, and I hope next year we'll just, he'll still be here and we'll get another fantastic lineup. But we don't know.
Well, he still has some mazes that I believe he wants to do. Like, honestly, I wouldn't think he's finished until we see his final edit Super Maze. I know he's been wanting to do that for quite some time, so I honestly would like to see him leave until he finally finishes his trilogy and goes along with some other properties that he's been wanting to do, like Trick or Treat and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you. Um. Yeah. Like, I have like a list of IPs I'd love to see. I'd love to see another Alice Cooper maze. I'd love to see Preacher come to the event. Even a lot of IPs that I want to see, even if they're never gonna happen, like The Shining, Ash vs. Evil Dead. I have a ton of IPs I'd love to see come to the event, and I'm hoping that he stays and brings all the IPs that we want true one day.
Oh, actually, it might come because the remake is filming right now, and remakes happen to do well. Well, like a nice trend of remakes go to the theme park um, for this event. So maybe we might see Pennywise in some shape or form be featured there. And my dream property would be either like The Hills Have Eyes or From Dusk Till Dawn and like You're Next.
Wasn't my bad.
What? No, you can go. Sorry.
Wasn't Your Next more of like a suspenseful movie though?
Actually, like a slasher thriller, kind of
Oh, okay.
like a little bit of dark humor in it. So I can it has a lot of maze material.
I
Like Mannix said, I'd love to see another Alice Cooper maze, or just like another musically like theme maze. Like we had Face Off, which had Figure in it, and I really loved that. That's one of my favorite mazes of all time. So just like another music theme maze would be really cool.
Especially with talking about clowns and 3D mazes. Clowns, I think it would be a very good return to clowns, especially with the rumors of clowns not returning this year or anything clown related. And I think it could potentially return clowns to its best form, and it could be a fantastic maze if, he gets the rights to it. And as for 3D mazes, Jose has a very good point on his review. He says he doesn't like 3D mazes, and I have to completely agree with him. Alice Cooper 2011 was fantastic. Alice 2012 was really great as well. 2013 was kind of mesh, for Black Sabbath. I'm looking at the POVs, and Clowns was kind of like cool, but it was okay. And then This Is the End was perfect. Yeah, just perfect maze.
I have to agree. This is again one of the best maze I've ever seen. There's been nothing as scary, as groundbreaking, as original, and as just fantastic as This Is the End. So I bet we all agree that This Is the End is the best maze ever. But yeah, speaking of 3D mazes, they're all trash. They reuse the same walls for every single maze since I was back in 2012, and then stuff. They're always too bright to scare the people. But like
Yeah,
regarding music mazes and stuff. I really like the Alice Cooper ones. Like Alice Cooper Welcome to My Neighborhood was a really good maze, and so was Ghost and Hell Black Sabbath that we wasn't big on. Clowns I just hated. But if you were to do like Alice Cooper again and just finish the trilogy he supposedly had planned, I would be okay with that. Or like maybe do like a Marilyn Manson maze, which is a maze that I wanted to see at the event for like forever. So it just depends on what kind of music artist brings to the event and how he utilizes them. Whether it's just like an original music phase, like Alice Cooper, or he just like have him do the soundtrack, like he does Slash for Clowns.
Yeah, I'm just gonna talk about my little reason why This Is the End is the best maze ever. I love how it's just so unorganized and it's not trippy whatsoever. I love how it sacrifices scares for laughter. I love how there's no scares in the maze. I love how you can predict every single scare from a mile away. I love that the fact is that they use so many monsters from the film and that weren't even in the film that you can't even recognize most of them. I love the set design. I love the costume design. I love how the ending could have been a huge, fantastic finale, and they didn't use the Backstreet's Back finale potential idea. I love, just the Danny McBride in the tub scene. I love just everything about that maze. It was just so absolutely incredible, and best maze that we've ever seen, especially because I don't think it was supposed to be an Exorcist replacement because we're getting Exorcist this year, so, I think Murdy had a very good reason to do This the End.
I think he just did this at the end, so like try to test out how he would do the exorcism scene, which is honestly the best part of the maze, the exorcism scene. And so he probably just did it to test the waters with the exorcist. But I mean, if we had to go through this is the end to get the exorcist, I'm okay with it now. But it was really a really trashy maze.
I honestly really liked this at the end. I didn't think it was like the worst maze. Like I thought it was pretty creative to take a big step and do like a comedy film besides just do all horror. I think it's like very different and creative. Like it wasn't scary. It was like more for like laughs and just to not see someone getting eaten or getting decapitated. It was something new and fresh to the event.
Yeah, I agree with you, sort of. I can see where you're coming from, but like most of the community did not like this the end. They thought it was awful. Some people did, some people didn't. I love that little film, and I think it was a fantastic film. But there's so much wasted potential. It's so like unorganized. I just had said there's a ton of scenes that they could have done. They could have done that big dragon scene, the Backstreet's Back scene, and it was such a wasted potential maze, and some people actually really did like it, and I'm okay. I respect everyone's opinion, but like me and Jose, we fucking hate that maze. Sorry for language, but like we hate that maze.
I think sorry, I think comedy mazes are fine, and also like 3D. I thought it was like a good idea, but it wasn't really well done. So I'd like to see something like it again, just maybe a little better. Maybe they'll learn from their mistakes, and yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like it wasn't well done. That's the only thing with me. Like it was like no scares in it, and if there were scares in it, they weren't really executed right. So um yeah, like I would like to see another comedy maze, but like have it just be more, possibly more funny and actually scary, and not so trippy with the 3D.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Oh, sorry, cut you off, but like in 3D mazes, it's supposed to make you trippy and supposed to make you puke, and you know what I mean. But 3D mazes are supposed to be very trippy and stuff like that. But this end was not very trippy. It was not. I'd love to see another comedy maze done right, even if it's not 3D. I think Ash vs Evil Dead, because like as long as you can balance comedic elements and scares in a maze, you're doing it right. And this is the end was only laughter, and that's the problem with it. It was cartoonish. And I just wanted to say, anything else about this end before we or any other thoughts on 3D mazes before we move on?
Let me just say that this is the end would have been a way better maze if it wasn't in 3D. Like I really didn't have that much of a problem with them utilizing this is the end as a property at the event. It was just all the execution. Like you guys said, they tried to go more for the laughs and it didn't really come out well with the scares. The scares were really predictable. Those scare actors look very cartoonish. It really didn't work that well with the 3D. If they would have like done this more seriously instead of just throwing together some of the old 3D walls and like throwing like whatever kind of scare actors that weren't even in the film inside of the maze and stuff and just trying to make you laugh. If they would have actually like tried their best to do this and like make it not 3D, just make it like really dark and like have some really cool like scare actors and like puppets and stuff, this could have actually worked pretty darn well. But they really did not know how to pull this off, which is the reason this maze ultimately fell flat. Anybody
Yeah.
else? Anybody else?
Wait, actually touching on the Ash versus Evil Dead, I think that would work better as a comedy mazes because it wouldn't need 3D, and Evil Dead's a really like comedic horror franchise, and a lot of scenes can be featured in that maze if we ever get it.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch a little bit more on it. Wait, I'll just
No,
Ash
no, you
vs
can go.
Evil
I'm sorry.
Dead. Oh, thank you. Ash vs. Evil Dead could be a really great maze, especially with comedic elements and horror elements, which it could be really scary. It can also be really funny. This is the end really sacrificed a lot of scares for laughter, and while I will agree that this the end had some really funny moments and some really great moments, it was really a horrible maze. And if even if that this is the end, was a maze that balanced comedy and scares, I would have been completely fine with it, and I would have probably said it was a better maze than it should have been, but it wasn't. And so I'll let you guys handle whatever you want to say about the Zen or 3D mazes, because we still have another question. So
I don't think it was horrible.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, moving along from 3D mazes, we also have another question on Twitter from Arcade6 who asks, "What do you guys think the theme for the Terror Tram will be this year?"
I think we talked about this, or was it like the last podcast that we talked about it? I don't know.
I don't think we talked about it this podcast.
Oh yeah, we kind of said like it might be Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think it would work because the film takes a lot of time like outside and like kind of a rural environment, which kind of works with the whole tram and walking around. So I think it could be Texas Chainsaw.
Or maybe looking at it this way, if you guys think about it, it said based like an original take on it, and Ed Gein is actually based on two famous horror icons, Leatherface and Norman Bates, and those characters are based on Ed Gein, and
It actually, I just wanted to add to your little thing that Ed Gein was also inspired on Hannibal Lecter as well. It wasn't actually talked about all that much.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that
yeah,
too.
yeah, I'm not sure about the plane. I don't know what they'll do with that. Like Leatherface comes across like a plane and like with dead people inside, I guess. Yeah,
And that
so
But if they
I
have it
guess
to where it's like Leatherface and his family or whatever in the backlot and stuff, and the tram.
well, talking about Ed Gein. Oh wait, sorry. Talking about Ed Gein and the Terror Tramp. Murdy states a lot that it's going to be completely original, and I personally think it could work. But he also stated that he kind of shot down the idea of Ed Gein being a Terror Tramp, but I think it's possible. And what I think I'm going to talk about what I want to see and what I think it's going to be. What I want to see is an Ed Gein, because that would be really great. Seeing like going in between Terror Tramps of like seeing Ed Gein as like Texas Chainsaw and seeing him at the beginning, and then seeing him as like Psycho, near the Psycho house, and seeing like Psycho like scare actors, and then also seeing like Hannibal Lecter would actually be really fantastic because we've never actually had Hannibal Lecter at the event. And what I think it's going to be is going to be something we have no idea what it is. I think it's going to be completely original. But I think he could actually be working with Michael, the creative director of Orlando, because he keeps saying that he's working with another entity on it, and I think he could be working with him on it.
maybe Chance.
No, I don't think.
No, not Chance. John likes to keep Orlando's icons in
Well,
Orlando.
that'll be interesting.
Well, here's the thing. I think he could do. I'm not saying that it's like something from Orlando is going to come to Hollywood, like the director or anything like that. But I think Michael could help Murdy do a original IP for original Terror Tram idea, and be an idea that isn't at Orlando already. And because with previous or original ideas, it hasn't really been the best in a while. So I think Michael could be, helping Murdy with the Terror Tram.
Well, maybe look at it this way. He's trying to make this year really big and surprising. So maybe trying to cross the boundaries a little bit. Like I know why he doesn't really like to do original properties. Like I don't think they do as well because IPs like that's what brings in crowds and that's what catches my attention personally. Like I don't mind original properties, but I'd rather see something more iconic, quote unquote.
What really caught my eye on this about the Terror Tram was, like you guys said, he said he's working with somebody on the Terror Tram, so it's not necessarily going to be on a specific property. Now, when I thought about him working on somebody, I didn't really jump to Mike Aiello like you did on Maniacs. What I thought about was like maybe him working with another director. Like he could be working with like maybe James Wan and like doing an original take on like Ghost and stuff. Like they did Insidious and the VIP tour back in 2013, and it was very successful.
Or maybe Eli Roth.
Or maybe Eli Roth, or like somebody like Guillermo del Toro, or something like that. That's what I think personally. I think he's gonna be working with a specific director, and they're either gonna do kind of like an original take, like an original idea that they come up with together, or they're gonna utilize some of his films and just scatter them around the backlog. Anybody have any comments on this?
Yeah, I agree with you. He could be working with Michael L., or he could be working with Eli Roth, or um, James Wan, or one of those. But I agree. But yeah, I agree.
Is it possible that it could be like using the classic monsters like Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and everything though?
That's still a property.
Possibly not for the Terror Trend, but he might be able to do something with that in the future. Like if maybe we ever get the Court of Miracles and Fortnite and stuff, that could work, but possibly not this year. But what I think about most is that this could be Eli Roth, like you guys mentioned. So I remember last year he took the whole cast from Green Inferno through Horror Nights, so we don't know what kind of chat's going to arisen from there. And he has worked with Eli Roth in the past before when he did Hostel and stuff. So this could actually be Eli Roth, or it could be James Wan, which he also likes to work with. So those are the two biggest things that I'm really thinking about when it comes to thinking about the Terror Trend.
Yeah,
Oh no, you can go. Sorry.
yeah, I have to agree with you, Eli Roth. He was actually working on a little film called Meg, and I'm not sure if you knew about this, but it's a little killer shark movie that actually got canceled. And I think that he could kind of use that as an original idea for the Terror Trend, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But as for like mazes in the future, which one of you guys mentioned, I can't remember which one and who said it. Could you guys remind me again?
I don't know.
Wait,
I can't remember. I can't remember. I'll let Meatloaf talk and share his opinion on the Terror.
I think it could also be Guillermo del Toro, because they did Crimson Peak last year. The only thing I think I agree with Jose on the Eli Roth is more likely, but Guillermo del Toro is possible because of Crimson Peak last year. But I don't think it's as likely because he doesn't do as many horror movies as other directors, and it seems like he's working on other projects right now. So yeah.
I can agree.
Well, like Guillermo del Toro is like very creative and artistic, so maybe he can bring something new to the table.
Yeah, he's very like when it comes to horror for Guillermo del Toro, he's more like horror fantasy when you look at Crimson Peak and Pan's Labyrinth. And yeah, I mean, I'd love to see Guillermo del Toro work with John Murdy, but if there's one thing I really want to see is Pan's Labyrinth maze. That'd be incredibly beautiful.
Yeah, but didn't Knots do a Pan's Labyrinth maze like a while back though?
No, they never have actually. They did a maze called the Labyrinth, but they have never done Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, the thing about like Nas is like most of their IPs are like their own, or they'll just like kind of, I don't want to say steal because they don't do that, but
Promote.
Nevermore was like highly based on Edgar Allan Poe, and I don't think they even had the license because they'd like play the poems that he wrote and they'd change a bunch of the words. So yeah.
but out of all the directors that mentioned for this territory, like Guillermo del Toro and like Eli Roth and like James Wan, it seems like you guys said, Guillermo del Toro's pretty busy right now. I know he's working on like Pacific Rim 2, and I believe he has another property that he's working on currently. And James Wan, I think he's doing the next Fast and Furious and Aquaman. So he could be pretty busy as well. So out of the three, I think the most likely it's going to be Eli Roth, but we're going to have to wait and see what comes up for the territory.
Anyone else want to touch on the Terror Tram before we move on to our next topic?
Or maybe Greg Nicotero, like have some K and B characters. Well, not characters, but like films that they worked on.
Well, I'm just gonna say this: he could be working with any horror icon. We just don't really know. So, yeah, that's just. I think that's our input on Terror Tram this year. Does anyone have any idea on tweets or YouTube comments?
Alright, so last thing on the Terror Tram, it's going to be interesting either way. So we're just going to have to wait and find out to see what it is. And there's also been this rumor going around that the Jabberwockies will be performing in Orlando last year. Now I know they kind of went out and said that they will be at Halloween Horror Nights again. So could that mean that they're not going to be at Hollywood's event and rather at Orlando's event this year?
Fuck yeah.
So that means we would be getting like a different type of show.
Thinking about like back with Chucky's, the insult incorporeal thing. I think they could do like a purge type insult thing, and have like the purgers insult people because
People
Bill and
would get
Ted has
too
been.
offended.
Yeah, they would just remove it from the event altogether. But there's this little thing like they could kind of do it as like a test to see how people react to that sort of entertainment, and potentially bring back Bill and Ted, or some type of like darkly comedic like The Hanging, or from Knots, sort of darkly comedic.
Like touching on the work. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, please go. I'm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So touching up on that purge emporium, like that insult emporium thing, I think that'll work because if you guys watched Purge Election Year, that main girl, I think her name was Kimmy, she had like a mouth on her, and that would work really well if they just had her insulting people, but not as dark as um, the auction lady. That would be really well.
If they brought back the election lady, because didn't they have her in like one of the scare zones before? Like,
Yeah, but she called like some girls some hoes or something like that, some whores because they're wearing like lipstick and stuff like that, and it was like this big thing, and that's why we didn't have it this year and half of last year.
Regarding show-wise this year, I think that they kind of like were testing out last year. For those of you guys who remember the after party, they had like Academy of Villains and a whole bunch of different shows around the park. So I think those were really kind of like a test to see how well they would do. And I heard the Academy of Villains show got a really well reception. So maybe that could be replacing the Jabberwockies this year. Like maybe have like some of the other little live entertainment they had around the park. The extra too nice, like the dancing vampires and like the drummer and stuff. That would be pretty cool to see at the event. But my main, guess for show wise this year, we're not gonna have the Jabberwockies. We might be having the Academy of Villains this year.
To be honest, there was some very good parts to the Jabberwockies, but other than that, I didn't really enjoy the show. But also I just wanted to mention real quick before someone else wants to talk, that to those who think that there may be a magic show or some type of magic related thing this year, Murdy kind of shot that down, said he didn't want to do anything magic related. I can't remember the tweet, but like he said something like that. So I don't think we're gonna receive a magic maze this year, or a magic terror tram, or a magic show.
Honestly, on shows, I'd like to see Greg Nicotero bring up some stuff, like literally bring up like some props and like basically like a special effects show. So bring out some characters that he worked on. Like I know he worked on Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell, Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, etc. A lot of movies. So that'll be interesting to maybe have.
Would anyone else like to talk about show ideas or shows that could be coming this year, or the Jabberwockies?
So walk you through arrangements because we need coordinates. With election year, like if they do like we were talking about like the park around scare zone, they could do some like little show and stuff. Like maybe have like a since the movie was election year, they could have like some live like kind of like debates and stuff. It's like somebody's against the purge and somebody's for the purge and they're like debating and stuff. That would be pretty cool to see. And it could be kind of like a way to replace the marker and stuff in a manner that's not quite as offensive to people since they get offended easily and stuff. Or maybe just do like an option again, but like not make it as offensive, I guess. That could also be something that they could do for the event. Alright, anybody else? Alright, so I guess that about wraps up our podcast this morning. It was pretty early. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. This is going to be the second podcast I've done on my channel talking about Halloween Horror Nights. We will be doing another one tomorrow at Sunday night over at the Chess Squad channel, so be sure to tune in. And so I want to thank everybody for being here today. So I'm going to start off by giving you guys a chance to give out your closing statements where people can find you on YouTube and Twitter. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with HM13.
All right. You can find my YouTube channel, Horror Nights Fan 13. Instagram is also Horror Nights Fan 13, and then Twitter, HHN Fan 13. Find me on all of those. Thank you all for having me. It's been great.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, my YouTube channel hasn't been entirely set up yet, but it is HHN Maniacs. Welcome to my channel video will be coming out today, an intro video, and I also talk more in depth of The Exorcist and Halloween. My YouTube channel is HHN Maniacs. My Twitter is also HHN Maniacs, and my Instagram is also HHN Maniacs. And yeah, thank you all for joining us, and thank you for having me here. Yeah.
Alright, Kilo.
Does anybody else want to go or should I go? Or
I think you're good.
okay, HHN Meatloaf of the HHN Squad. You can find me on Twitter at HHN_Meatloaf, and my YouTube channel is under the same name without the underscore. And yeah, thanks for having me again.
Alright, Horrorman 666. Alright then, Sonic Speed News.
My YouTube channel is Sonic Speed News. My Twitter is Sonic Speed News, Kick, Sonic Speed News, everything. It's just look up Sonic Speed News and you'll be able to find me.
Okay, where you can find me is Instagram, Tyler with 2 R's _ Jones. Snapchat, Tyler with 2 R's Jones 666. And I don't know my Twitter username, sorry. But I put in one of those my description in one of my videos. Speaking of videos, YouTube is HorrorFan666.
Alright, links to all their channels will be in the description box down below. Please be sure to check them out. They all put out great content regarding Halloween Horror Nights. And I want to thank them all for being here with me today. And I want to thank all of you guys out there watching today. So thank you guys so much for joining us on this podcast. And we'll see you guys on the next one.